Hey dear learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Varda. I'm Assistant Professor Rajeshwari Sharma here, and this lecture is for the BCom 6th semester for the subject Advanced Statistics. So, we are dealing with the correlation analysis under this chapter, and we are done with the simple numerical problems over here. Now, we are dealing with the type 3 problems whereby 3 series are given, okay? And we need to convert those 3 series into 2 for proceeding further with the problem or for solving the problem. So let's see the question and then we will discuss with the methodology for solving this question. So what is question? Calculate coefficient of correlation between age and successful candidates in the examination. So here we have been given the data of the particular examination whereby we have to calculate the coefficient of correlation between the age and the successful candidates in the examination. So what has been given? We have been given age of the candidates, we have been given candidates appear, and we have been given successful candidate. And with this data, what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the coefficient of correlation. Let's see how we are going to do it. So this is the X series. We will consider that age is the X series and successful candidates in the examination is the Y series. Okay, but here age has been given in the group data. Like group has been formed for the different ages, like 13 to 14 years would be put under this group, 14 to 15 years would be put under this group, and meanwhile groups have been formulated and the students who are belonging to the particular age group would be put under this particular age group. Okay, so this way age has been given in the X series. Successful candidates we have to find for the Y series. Here what we have been given candidates appear and we have been given successful candidates. So what happens, many times we get confused and we consider that this successful candidates which have been given here is the Y series, but it is not Y series. It's wrong. It's not Y series. Why? Because see, in candidate appear we have been given different number of candidate appear for different age groups, and the successful candidate has been taken out from this candidate appeared, but this candidate appeared for each group is different. Okay, and therefore there is no particular base for taking the successful candidate, but we have to calculate the correlation between the age and the successful candidates, right? So for calculating successful candidates in the examination, we need to have a particular base. So what's going to be the particular base? So we have to calculate the percentage of successful candidates. Percentage of successful candidates. Okay. And whenever we are talking about calculation of percentage, so 100 is the basis. Okay. So now we are going to get the particular base of 100 when we are going to calculate percentage of successful candidates. So let's see how we are going to calculate the percentage of successful candidate. How many candidates have been appeared in the examination? 200. Okay. How many candidates have got successful in the examination? 124. Okay. When 200 is 100%, so 124 is how many percent? Now we have to do cross multiplication, that is 100 into 124 divided by 200. How much we are going to get? 100 into 124 divided by 200, we will get 62%. Okay, so this 62% is the percentage of successful candidates. Okay, it's 62. Then we have for the age group of 14 to 15 years, we have 300 candidates. Okay, 300 candidates has been appeared in the examination, out of which 180 have been passed. Okay, so 180. 180 out of 300. So how much out of 100? So again we are going to get this formula, 100 into 180 divided by 300. Okay, so what's going to be the answer? 100 into 180 divided by 300. It's going to be 60%. So here we will write 60. Okay. So here what we are doing? We are calculating the percentage of successful candidates from candidates appeared and successful candidates given. Okay. For the age group of 15 to 16, 100 students have been appeared for the examination. out of which 65 have got passed. 100 out of 65, so how many out of 100%? So again it will come to 100 into 65 divided by 100. So it will be 65%. Okay, 65%. So 65 is the answer over here. Then for the next age group, 50 candidates have been appeared. When 50 have been appeared and 34 have got passed, so if 100 candidates have been appeared, so how many candidates have passed? Why 100? Because we are taking out the percentage, and basis of percentage is 100. So 100 into 34 divided by 50. Okay, 100 into 34 divided by 50. So we have got 68%. Then for the next series, 150, for the next group, 150 candidates have appeared. So we will write 150, out of which 90 have passed. So 90 out of 150, how many out of 100? So again 100 into 90 divided by 150. So it's 100 into 90 divided by 150. So we will get 60. Here again 60. Then for the next series, 400 students have appeared. Okay. Out of them, 252 have got passed. 252 out of 400, how many out of 100? So again, it's 100 into 252 divided by 400. 100 into 252 divided by 400. It will come to 63%. So we will write 63 over here. Then 250 candidates have been appeared for exam, out of which 140 candidates have got passed. 145 out of 250. So how many out of 100? Again 100 into 145 divided by 250. Okay. So 100 into 145 divided by 250. So it will be 58%. Okay. So here we have written 58. Then for next age group, 150 candidates have been appeared, out of which 81 candidates have been passed. Okay. So how many candidates will pass out of 100? Why 100? Because we are taking out the percentage. That is why we are taking the basis of 100. So 100 into 81 divided by 150. 100 into 81 divided by 150. So it comes to 54. Here we will write 54. Then 25 students have been appeared for exam. Out of them 12 have passed. So how many students will pass if 100 students will appear? So 100 into 12 divided by 25. 100 into 12 divided by 25. Okay. So it will come to 48. The next thing is 75% or 75 students have been appeared. Out of them 33 candidates have been passed. So how many students will pass out of 100? Okay. So again 100 into 33 divided by 75. So 100 into 33 divided by 75, it will be equal to 44. Okay. So here 44%. Okay. So this way we have calculated the percentage of successful candidates. I have told you the logic, how logically it needs to be calculated. Now you can apply the formula as well. So what's going to be the formula? 100 into number of successful candidates divided by total number of candidates appeared. Total number of candidates appeared. Okay. So this is going to be the formula for calculating the percentage of successful candidates. So this way you can calculate either logically or you can apply this formula for calculating the percentage of successful candidates in the examination. This is the formula. 100 into number of successful candidates divided by total number of candidates. This is the formula for calculating percentage of successful candidates. Okay. So this way you can calculate the percentage of successful candidates. Now we have both age as well as successful candidate, means we have both X series and Y series. Now what's going to be the next step? Next step would be the calculation of coefficient of correlation. Okay, so we will rightly calculate the coefficient of correlation for this given series. So let's move on. So students, we have seen how the Y series has been calculated. Now means how the three series has been converted to two series. We have calculated the Y series with the help of given data. Okay, now we have got both the series, that is X series, which has been already given in the problem, and we have calculated Y series with the help of given data. Now what is the next step? Next step is the formulation of the preparation chart that we are going to do here. So here we have taken the X series from the problem itself. Then we have calculated the Y series. So we have put the Y series in the Y column, X series in this column of age. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to go for the calculation of dx column, dx square column, dy column, dy square column, and dx dy. So let's proceed. So I have told you earlier as well, here what has been given? Here the group data has been given in the X series. Like age has been given under the different groups like 13 to 14 years, 14 to 15 years, 15 to 16 years, and likewise. So here whenever the group data has been given, what we have to do? We have to calculate the mean value. How to calculate the mean value? So I have told you the formula for the calculation of mean value in the previous lecture as well. What is that? That is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So what is the lower limit over here? 13. What is the upper limit over here? 14. 13 plus 14 divided by 2. What's going to be the answer then? 13 plus 14 divided by 2. It's going to be 13.5. So here we will write 13.5. In the same way, we have to calculate the mean value for all the items. So 14 plus 15 divided by 2. It will be 14.5. Then 15 plus 16 divided by 2. So it will be 15.5. Then 16 plus 17 divided by 2. It will be 16.5. Then 17 plus 18 divided by 2. It will be 17.5. Then 18 plus 19 divided by 2. So it will be 18.5. Then 19 plus 20 divided by 2. So it will be 19.5. Then 20 plus 21 divided by 2. It will be 20.5. 21 plus 22 divided by 2. It will be 21.5. Then 22 plus 23 divided by 2. It will be 22.5. So this way we have calculated the mean value for all the series with the help of this formula, that is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Okay. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out dx. Dx means deviation from X series, right? Now we have calculated the dx. Dx means deviation from X series. How do we calculate deviation from X series? So we calculate deviation from X series by taking the assumed mean from X series. Here it is the X series and we have calculated mean value from the X series. Okay. So how we are going to calculate dx? We are going to take assumed mean from this mean value, column of mean value. What's going to be the assumed mean? We are going to consider the smallest number in this series as our assumed mean. So here 13.5 is the smallest number. We are going to consider it as our assumed mean. Okay. So how do we calculate dx? What is the formula for calculating dx? So it's going to be x minus a, means the item minus assumed mean. What is the first item? 13.5. What is the assumed mean? 13.5. 13.5 minus 13.5, 0. Then 14.5 minus 13.5, 1. 15.5 minus 13.5, 2. 16.5 minus 13.5, 3. 17.5 minus 13.5, 4. 18.5 minus 13.5, 5. 19.5 minus 13.5, 6. 20.5 minus 13.5, 7. 21.5 minus 13.5, 8. 22.5 minus 13.5, 9. This way we have calculated the dx series as well. Now what is the next column? Dx square. How we will calculate dx square? So it's dx into dx. 0 into 0, 0. 1 into 1, 1. 2 into 2, 4. 3 into 3, 9. 4 into 4, 16. 5 into 5, 25. 6 into 6, 36. 7 into 7, 49. 8 into 8, 64. And 9 into 9, 81. So this way we have completed the dx square column as well. Now what is there? Y. Y. From where we have taken this y series, we have calculated it and we have taken it from there only. We have calculated it with the help of with the help of given data, and from there we have taken this values. Okay. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate dy. How do we calculate dy? What is the formula to calculate dy? So it's y minus a. Y minus a means y means the item given, a means the assumed mean. Okay. So what is this? This is deviation from y series. That is why the formula to calculate it is y minus a. So how do we consider the assumed mean? We generally take the smallest value of series as our assumed mean. So what is the smallest value of series over here? You can find out that 44 is the smallest value. So we will consider it as assumed mean. What is the formula? Y minus assumed mean. So what is the first item? 62. What is the assumed mean? 44. So we will do 62 minus 44. So it will be 18. Okay. It will be 18. Then 60 minus 44. Okay. 60 minus 44. It will be 16. Then 65 minus 44. It will be 21. 68 minus 44. It will be 24. 60 minus 44. So it will be 16. 63 minus 44. So it will be 19. 58 minus 44. So it will be 14. Then what is the next item? Next item is 54. So 54 minus 44. It would be 10. Okay. Then 48 minus 44. 4. Then 44 minus 44, 0. So this way we have completed the dy series as well. Now what we have to calculate? We have to calculate dy square. How do we calculate it? Dy into dy. So what is the first item under dy column? 18. We will do 18 into 18. We are going to get 324. Then we have to take out the square of 16. That is 16 into 16. So we will get 256. Then square of 21. So 21 into 21. So 441. Then square of 24. 24 into 24. So it's going to be 576. Then again square of 16. That is 256. Then square of 19. So 19 into 19. 361. Square of 14. 14 into 14. It will be 196. Square of 10. 100. Square of 4. 16. Square of 0. 0. This way we have calculated the dy square column as well. Now what is the next thing we have to do? We have to calculate dx into dy. Means this column into this column into this column. Okay, dx into dy. So 0 into 18, 0. Then 1 into 16, 16. Then 2 into 21, 2 into 21, 42. Then 3 into 24, 3 into 24, 72. Okay. Then 4 into 16, 4 into 16, it will be 64. Okay. Then 5 into 19, 19, it will be 95. Okay. Then what is next? 6 into 14, 6 into 14, it will come to 84. Okay. Then 7 into 10, 70. 8 into 4, 32. 9 into 0, 0. This way we have computed all the values under dx dy series. Now what is the next thing we have to do? We have to take the summation of all these things. First of all, we have to calculate n, that is number of items. So let's see how many number of items has been given under the x series and the y series. So here you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have given 10 items. Okay. So number of items would be 10 under the both the series, that is x and y. So n is equals to 10. We will write here. Then what we have to calculate? We have to calculate summation dx. How do we calculate summation dx? We have to make the addition of this dx column. So we will do 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. How much we are going to get? We are going to get 45. That is why here we will write summation dx is equals to 45. Then what we have to compute next, that is summation dx square. So how do we calculate summation dx square? We will make addition of this column. So it will be 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 25 plus 36 plus 49 plus 64 plus 81. When you are going to make addition of this column, you are going to get 285. So here we will write summation dx square is equals to 285. Then what we have to do? We have to calculate summation dy. How do we calculate summation dy? We are going to make the addition of this column, that is 18 plus 16 plus 21 plus 24 plus 16 plus 19 plus 14 plus 10 plus 4 plus 0. So how much we are going to get? We are going to get 142. That is why we will say summation dy is equals to 142. Then what we have to calculate? We have to calculate summation dy square. How do we calculate summation dy square? We have to make addition of this column, that is 324 plus 256 plus 441 plus 576 plus 256 plus 361 plus 196 plus 100 plus 16. How much we are going to get? We are going to get 2526. Okay, 2526. So we will say summation dy square is equals to 2526. Then what we have to find out? We have to find out summation dx dy. How do we find out summation dx dy? We will have to make addition of this column, that is 16 plus 42 plus 72 plus 64 plus 95 plus 84 plus 70 plus 32. After making addition of all these numbers, we are going to get 475. Okay. So that is why we will say summation dx dy is equals to 475. Now what is the next step? We are done with the preparation chart. What we have to do now? We have to apply the formula. What is the formula? R is equals to n into summation dx dy minus under bracket summation dx into summation dy upon under root n into summation dx square minus summation dx whole square into another under root n into summation dy square minus summation dy whole square. So this is the formula for calculating coefficient of correlation by using Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So what's the next step? We have to put the values into the formula. What is the value of n? 10. What is the value of summation dx dy? 475. 10 into 475 minus under bracket summation dx. What is the value of summation dx? 45 into summation dy. What is the value of summation dy? 142. 142. Okay, bracket close. Upon under root n and 10 into summation dx square. What is the value of summation dx square? 285. We will write 285 minus summation dx whole square. So here guys, don't get confused between summation dx square and summation dx whole square. When it is summation dx square, so we have directly put the value that we have computed under summation dx square. But when it comes to the summation dx whole square, so what we have to do? We have to put the value of summation dx. Summation dx 45, and we have to compute the whole square of this 45. Means we have to compute the square of 45. Okay. Then another under root n into summation dy square. So 10 into again summation dy square 2526. 2526 minus summation dy whole square. Again summation dy square and summation dy whole square is the different terminologies. Here what we have to do? We have to put the value of summation dy, that is 142, and we have to compute the square of this 142. Okay. So this way we have put the values in the formula. Now what is the next step? We have to go for the computation. So 10 into 475. 10 into 475. 4750. 4750 minus 45 into 142. So it will come to 6390. Okay, it will come to 6390. 6390. Then 10 into 285. 2850 minus 45 square. 45 into 45. It will be 2025. then into another under root, 10 into 2526, 25260 minus 142 square, 142 square, 20,164. Okay, then 4750 minus 6390, 4750 minus 6390. So it would be 1640 minus 1640. Why? Because this is plus, this is minus, plus, 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 minus would be minus, and there is going to be the sign of big number. That is why 4750 minus 6390 would be 1640, and the sign of big number is minus. That is why it would be minus 1640. Okay, so this way I have told you how minus 1640 has come. Now 2850 minus 2025 under 2850 under root 2850 minus 2025. So 2850 minus 2025, it will come to 825. So we will write under root 825 into 260 minus 2164. So it would come to 5096. Okay. So under root 5096. Then minus 1640. Now we have to calculate the values of under root. So under root 825, how do we find the value of under root 825? We will simply write 825 on calculator, then press the button of under root. So we are going to get 28.7228. We will going to consider the decimal points up to 4 digits. That is why I am writing 28.7228. Okay, into under root 5096. So in the same way, we are going to calculate the value of under root 5096. What we are going to do? We are going to write 5096 on calculator, then press the button of under root. So we are going to get the value of under root 5096, and it comes to 71.3863. 3863. Okay. Next step, minus 1640 divided by 28.7228 multiplied by 71.3863. 28.7228 multiplied by 71.3863. It would come to 2050.4144. 4144. Okay. So now when we are going to do minus 1640 divided by 2050.4144, so we are going to get the value of this R, that is coefficient of correlation. So let's do it. Minus 1640 divided by 2050 point minus 1640 divided by 2050.4144. So it would come to minus 0.7998. Okay, so I have computed up to 4 digits. Now I will write the answer in 2 digits only. So it will become minus 0.80. Why? Because we are rounding up the digit, and here whenever there is number which is bigger than 5, so we have to add 1 to the previous number. So it's 9 which is bigger than 5. That is why we have added 1 to the 79 and it has become 80. Okay. So that is why answer has come to minus 0.80. Okay. So this is the value of R, that is value of coefficient of correlation. Okay. So guys, here what we can conclude? We can conclude that there is highly negative correlation between the age and the successful candidates in the examination. Means there is negative relationship between the age and the successful candidates in the examination. Highly negative correlation. Why highly negative? Because the coefficient of correlation lies between minus 0.75 to minus 0.90. That is why we say that there is highly negative correlation between the age and the successful candidates in the examination. So this way we are done with this problem of the third type, where we have learned the conversion of 3 series into 2. In next problem we are going to meet with the next type. Till then, keep studying. Keep watching the YouTube lectures. In case you are having any doubt, please contact me. And guys, please be hungry for the knowledge. Thank you so much.